I haven't made a video in a while. And I think I was hyping it because, you know, when you don't do something for a long time, you almost feel like you can't do it anymore, or like it's just not possible anymore. But I guess like what I've learned is that's not the truth, and that I can make a video. But that's also a real feeling, you know, when you've been gone for a minute, you're like, can I come back with the jump off? Those are questions you have for yourself. But I guess like I want to just like kind of like chronicalize kind of like where I've been and like what's been going on. One thing I should say is my laptop pretty much died randomly one day when I was in Denver before I moved in Denver, because when I first moved out to Denver, it was on some shit where I was just not going through life in a healthy way, and a large part of that is due to like, you know, just oppression and just like the wayward ways that like life is unfortunately dealt to like black femme folks. And so a friend of mine who I had a lot of like conversations with previous to moving in with, reached out to me and was like, girl, come to Denver, let's figure out how to kind of like, you know, like mitigate harm, and also let's, you know, work on how to kind of get you in a better place. I'm sweating dicks. Oh God, New Orleans, bitch. And I could put on the AC, but I don't want to. I'm kind of like living for this breeze. It's light, but it's delicious. Okay, so there's that. But I'm gonna be glistening. Honestly, the way that this megapixel is set up, I don't even think you could really see a bitch is sweating. I think I just look shiny. I'm not mad about it. But anyways, so Samantha and I had made an arrangement where I was gonna move to Denver and help out with her around her house, with her baby. Just do some things, you know, so that I can like, you know, mitigate stress for her while she was like mitigating like harm for me. And I just want to like give a shout out to Samantha. That bitch is my homie, ride or die, like just like the realest bitch, you know what I mean? There's only a few bitches from Real Bitch Island, you know what I mean? I noticed that. I noticed Real Bitch Island don't really have too many like folks around me. But when I see another bitch that I notice from the island, I gotta just, you know, I just gotta give them a shout out, and then also just be real about the fact that, you know, throughout like the past few months, it's just been so much learning, so many experiences that I definitely don't regret having or experiencing, but perhaps at times regret my responses, and just, you know, just a lot of things, I guess. Like, I have so much to talk about, and in ways I feel like sometimes a break is necessary, you know? I feel like in ways, like, I couldn't have been talking to y'all about all the stuff that was happening in the background, because in ways, you know, I'm kind of, you know, coming out of this whirlwind, while still in a whirlwind, but just a little bit more grounded, if that makes any sense. You know, I kind of just feel like I've worried as much as I can about certain situations, and at this point, the way it's playing out, I kind of have to move on to the next. So, with that being said, I'm in Denver, living with Samantha and her family, and I love her family. So lovely, like staying with them. B, you're the shit. John, you're the shit. Zadie, you're the bomb. You know, like I just had a bomb time with their family, and I just appreciate the dynamics of their family as well. I'm not gonna go super into it, but I just appreciated the way that they embraced me and like made me feel like I was part of the family, and just like really just cared for me in a time where like I don't think I was really caring for myself. So you know me, I can't be nowhere too long. I can't have help too long. So, you know, I'm over here trying to figure out a job situation. And the first job I get when I move out to Denver, I'm working at this coffee shop inside of a hospital, and it was just so shady the way that everything went down, because I went in for the interview and it was like these two white girls and they literally had no questions for me. They were just on some shit like, if you were a hamburger, what would you eat? Like, just being like really quirky and goofy, and I was kind of just like, bitch, do you know I'm poor? Like, bitch, do you know I'm poor? Like, I'm like, bitch, I don't know about no hamburger, but I know about a coffee. Let me make it for you, bitch. Let's espresso in this hoe. But I ended up getting the job, but it was some shit where it was like a month after my interview, they're gonna tell me, oh, you got the job, we just forgot to hire you. And then when I'm finally on board, I find out that for that whole month they were understaffed and bugging the fuck out because that bitch never reached out to me. So I was just like, okay, this is the climate of the job foolishness. So, you know, I was doing that for a little bit, but then I'm gonna keep it real with you, I was on some shit where once I got that job, started saving up my coins, I was like, you know what, I'm over here on my career. You know? So why am I not, you know, out here looking for love? You know? Why am I not out here looking for love? And so I had myself on some other shit where, bitch, I don't know if y'all could tell I'm sweating, but I could tell. Ooh, I feel just misty, bitch. But anyways, I was on some shit where I was feeling like, you know, I'm over here making money, like I'm getting, like I have my home stability, and I was, you know, as much as I felt a part of their family, there were also, like, obviously there's moments where, like, I can't be a part of that because that's not my family, you know, like, no tea, no shade, but it's like, I was like, you know, like, I gotta find me some ride or dies, like, I gotta find me some folks, just like in this family, that are out here loving on each other, caring for each other, you know. And I want to say a sidebar. Denver, the dating scene. Tragic. It was tragic. It was real bad because I'm gonna say and I don't even want to say what I was about to say because it's just not true. At first I was gonna be like, there's not that many fly black girls in Denver, but that's a lie. I feel like most of the black girls I seen were fly as fuck, and I feel like the level of respectability politics, gentrification, just whiteness in Denver kind of like overshadows like all the black and brown cuties, you feel me? Because there are a lot of fine ass people I seen when I was in Denver, but like when I was in the city I seen all the folks. But it's like when I was, you know, on my way to work, you know what I mean, or just intermittently taking the bus, it's like I saw a lot of like white professional folks, and it was just like, I don't know, the white professional folks were like really scary, like almost ghoulish. It was like there was a very like distinguished work culture there, but then a very like upscale, like I think after hours culture, where like it was very expensive to do a lot of things in Denver, to the point where like I was not really feeling going out. I will say there were a few spots that like you could, you know, spend a little bit and get a lot. Like they had like these $5 tickets for shows at this popular venue called One Up, which was an adult arcade. They had all the games for a quarter, and they had a bar inside, and they had a showroom in the back for bands, and then they also had like smoking in the back, and like people were smoking blunts and shit, and there was nothing. And I seen somebody with a bong on the dance floor, and I feel like he got arrested, but I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure. But it was just like, obviously the weed culture is kind of like wowzers, you know, like people are just getting high everywhere. People are approaching me to buy weed off them at the bus stop. It's like the underground market, or rather the market of folks like not being like legal when they're buying weed, is still very much thriving, because at the end of the day, you have to go to the dispensary, give them an ID card, and pay these crazy ass prices. Or you could be low key, go to a bus stop, sit for a minute, and someone will probably ask you if you want to buy some weed, which is like, in ways, I prefer the milk straight from the cow, you know? Straight from the cow. That's just how I feel. So, I didn't really go to many dispensaries, although I did try dispensary weed, and to be honest, your dealer's probably selling you dispensary weed. I know I had a dealer, like, this nigga was like going to the dispensary, picking up, and then selling it to me, and I know he was upselling me because I would see the little deals that they would have, but again, the deals were mostly for medical, so it pays to get your card, obviously, but I was not about that, you know what I mean? I wasn't about getting a Denver ID. That wasn't where I was at. But anyways, so as I said, I'm living in Denver, I'm trying to be dating, and It's like everybody want to fuck a black girl, but don't nobody want to love her. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it comes down to. A lot of dudes were on some fuck shit in terms of like wanting to get pussy and just doing the most. Like, I don't know. Like, it's something that I'm trying to figure out if it's like male socializing, like, you know how femme folks are in ways socialized to be like waiting for a nigga to like just pop in, intervene in their life. Like, I think dudes have been socialized to think that it's gotta be this high stakes shit, like this like climactic thing, and then sex, and then everything else doesn't matter. Like, I feel like a lot of dudes upon meeting were just really dynamic, seemingly really like interesting, but it's like seemingly like once we're having a conversation about like us being attracted, us wanting to be sexually engaging with each other, sexually experimenting, it just seemed like there was like a devaluement in ways of bodies, and I just felt like that was really gross. And then I also feel like, I don't know, just dudes be saying crazy things. You know what I mean? Dudes be saying crazy things. So I did meet a lot of white men in fucking Colorado, I'm not gonna lie. But the men of color that I met in Colorado, just foolishness. Just foolishness, if I'm being real with you. A lot of foolishness. And again, it's like, I think like in ways, if I could be real, I don't think I was looking genuinely for like someone to keep me in Colorado, but I was open to the idea of staying. Although I had said many times that I wanted to go back to New Orleans. Like, that was just on the agenda. Although I think, you know, I'm a romantic, you know, it's because of movies. I pinpointed it at this point. When I was younger, I used to watch a lot of movies, and I used to think really that my sweat game is on 10, bitch. But I used to watch a lot of movies, a lot of romantic films and shit like that, and I really like was socialized in a way that made me really feel kind of like, you know, always be waiting for something to like not derail your life. Bitch, come on, face don't slide off. But or rather like sometimes I find myself like wanting to have more in terms of a relationship with another person, and not really thinking about what that means, you know? Like, the last dude I was talking to you guys about, it's like, what the fuck could more have been? Like, he was shitty, you know what I mean? So it's like, just like a lot of self-care needed to happen. And when I was in Denver, I was just on some shit where I was like, play poly, you know what I mean? I was out here like, bitch, I'm sweating too much. Bitch, I'm sweating the most.